I'm John Petty of Global Auto Mobility, and I'm excited to moderate this webinar powered by Yazaki Corporation entitled High Quality Data Driven AI, How to Succeed with Outsourced Annotation. In this webinar, you'll learn how to clear roadblocks to your AI development, the benefits of outsourced image annotation, and how Yazaki can help your business. Now, I'd like to welcome our speaker for today, Joe Hamanaka. Joe, to start out the conversation, please tell us about yourself and your role at Yazaki.
Sure. Thanks, John. Hi, everyone. I'm Joe, and I'm joining you today from Michigan, where I live and work as a Senior Manager of Business Development at Yazaki North America. Here, I lead our efforts in AI partnership and image annotation strategy across the region. I work closely with teams building advanced AI systems, and I am passionate about helping them move faster and smarter through their data. It's great to be part of this conversation with so many of you across the US, and I'm looking forward to sharing some real examples from the field.
Thanks, Joe. Before we go further, could you tell us a bit more about Yazaki as a company?
Absolutely. Yazaki is a global manufacturing company headquartered in Japan. We are best known as a world-leading supplier of wire harness systems, and we've been a trusted partner to OEMs for more than 80 years. Over the years, we've expanded beyond traditional manufacturing into digital innovation, especially in areas like AI and mobility. And within that space, our team has been particularly focused on image annotation, a critical part of training data presentation for AI models that rely on visual recognition. Here in the US, we support AI developers by providing high quality human annotated image data, helping them build more accurate and reliable models. That's what led us to build our own annotation service, and it's what we'll explore in detail today.
Can you tell us how Yazaki got involved in the image annotation business?
Yes, great question. Our involvement in image annotation actually started from an internal need. As we were developing sensing technologies for mobility, things like in-vehicle cameras and advanced driver assistance systems, we realized that the quality of our AI models depended heavily on the quality of training data. And that meant we needed image annotation, lots of it, and done well. In those early proof of concept phases, we ran into the same problems that many company faces: tight timelines, limited internal resources, and the challenge of maintaining consistency across large datasets. So we decided to build our own team in-house, trained specialists who could handle even the most complex annotation tasks. This gave us speed, control, and quality, all critical for AI performance. Over time, we realized that many other companies were facing the exact same struggle. So we began offering our image annotation expertise as a service. Now, we help a wide range of clients, especially in automotive and manufacturing, build better models by giving them better data.
That sounds like a great way to start, getting proof of concept on your own projects first. Joe, please tell us how you work with growing companies as well as with large organizations.
Sure, John. We actually work with a wide range of companies, from fast-moving startups to global enterprises, and each has very different needs when it comes to image annotation. For growth stage companies, it's often about speed and flexibility. They may not have dedicated data teams, so engineers are spending time labeling data instead of building models. That's where we step in to take the pressure off, helping them move fast while maintaining quality. Our team is agile, and we are used to adapting quickly to changing specs or tight deadlines. On the other hand, Larger organizations usually have different priorities: scalability, auditability, and data security. They need a partner who can operate at enterprise scale, follow strict QA protocols, and ensure everything is fully traceable and secure. For those clients, we built processes with multiple layers of quality checks and secure infrastructure, similar to what we use in our core manufacturing business. So, whether it's speed for startups or governance for global players, we customize our approach to match what each client really needs.
Clients contact you about image annotation. What challenges prompt them to ask you about your services?
That's a great question, John. Before I get into the reasons clients reach out to us, I think it's important to clarify what we actually mean by annotation. It's more than just tagging boxes on images. Annotation is about assigning the correct answers to data, manually by humans, and doing it consistently across large, often complex datasets. At Yazaki, we define annotation as a full process, from defining the labeling rules to configuring tools to applying labels and performing quality checks. And as we always say, high quality AI starts with high quality annotation. That's exactly where many teams run into trouble. Most of the time, companies contact us when they realize that annotation is slowing them down, or when they are not confident in the quality of their current data. For growing companies, it's often about limited time and resources. Their engineers are pulled away from development to label data, and that becomes a bottleneck. They need a partner who can move quickly and still deliver reliable results. Larger organizations face different challenges, things like maintaining consistency at scale, ensuring data security, and meeting compliance standards. They often have multiple teams or vendor involved, and aligning everyone is tough. In both cases, they come to us because they understand the simple truth. Better data leads to better AI, and they need a process they can trust, scalable, transparent, and fast.
What do you offer to clients that helps solve their problems?
That's a great place to start. When clients come to us, they're not just looking for annotation. They are looking for annotation done right. This means building a process that's structured, dependable, and able to handle real world complexity. There are three key areas we focus on. First, requirement design. We define clear accuracy goals and labeling rules at the beginning. We host kickoff meetings, create detailed documentation, and ensure both teams are aligned from day one. Most annotation issues don't come from tooling, they come from unclear instructions. We fix that upfront. Second, edge case handling. Edge cases, those unexpected or unclear images, are everywhere in real AI projects. We train our team to identify and escalate these cases early before they affect quality at scale. Third, quality management. And this is where Yazaki truly stands out. Our annotations go through a three-stage quality assurance process, which includes full volume inspection, not just sampling. That means every single annotation is checked by multiple people before delivery. This strict approach comes from a background in the automotive industry, where failure isn't an option. We've applied the same standard to annotation. What also sets us apart is who performs the annotation. All annotations at Yazaki are done by our own full-time employees, not freelancers or crowd workers. Each team member is trained in-house through a structured program and worked in the controlled, collaborative environment. No one is working in isolation or from home. This ensures both consistency and accountability. And one more point. Our final quality reviews are conducted by specialists in Japan who ensure the output meets the highest standards of precision and reliability. This level of commitment to quality is rare, and it's one of the reasons clients come to us with confidence. In short, we offer a deeply reliable annotation framework built on well-defined processes, highly trained people, and a culture of precision. That's the foundation of how we approach annotation.
I suspect those solutions are different for growing companies versus large organizations. Joe, how customized can your services be considering a client's specific needs?
There are clear differences, but the core principles stay the same. No matter the company size, successful annotation outsourcing depends on six pillars: clear communication, early alignment, the ability to move fast without sacrificing quality, strong data security, continuous training, and robust quality assurance. We apply these foundations to every project we deliver. What changes is how we apply them. For growth stage companies, speed and flexibility are key. They're often working with limited internal resources and evolving specs, so we stay lightweight and responsive. Larger enterprises, on the other hand, tend to prioritize governance, auditability, and compliance. That's where our three-step QA process and documentation standards really shine. And because our final quality reviews are conducted by team in Japan, we can consistently meet high internal standards. Unlike many providers, we don't rely on freelancers. All annotation is done by in-house Yazaki employees, fully trained and accountable, allowing us to deeply customize based on the client's industry and needs. Let me briefly highlight the range of industry we support. As shown on this slide, we worked across automotive and mobility, manufacturing and factory settings, constructions and infrastructure, agriculture, satellite imagery, blueprint and technical drawings, and medical and anatomical data. This variety reflects not just what we can annotate, but how well we adapt to different domains. And because all of our work is done by trained in-house teams, we maintain consistency and quality, no matter the field. So whether you are moving fast or refining your approach or building long-term infrastructure, we'll meet you where you are and build the system around your goals. Because succeeding with outsourced annotation isn't about size. It's about designing a process that fits your real world needs.
Joe, take us through an engagement. Can you describe the process from start to finish?
Sure, when a company reaches out to us for image annotation, we guide them through a simple but structured four-step process. It's designed to make onboarding smooth, minimize risks, and maximize alignment. Step 1 is the initial consultation. We start by listening. We want to understand what the client is trying to achieve, the kind of data they are working with, and how the annotation will be used. No technical prep is needed, just a conversation about goals, constraints, and success criteria. This helps us frame the right solution from the start. Step 2 is the pilot phase. We take a small batch of real data and run a trial. This helps both sides evaluate the quality, turnaround time, and rule alignment. If there are unclear areas or edge cases, we resolve them here. We often offer pilots for free or at low cost. especially for first-time engagement. So there's no barrier to testing us out. Step 3 is the production rollout. Once the pilot is successful and the process is fine-tuned, we scale. We finalize documentation, assign a trained annotation team, and begin full delivery. Because our workforce is in-house and already trained, we can scale quickly without losing control over quality. Step 4 is ongoing feedback and refinement. Annotation isn't one and done. We maintain communication throughout the project, tracking outputs, collecting feedback, and adapting to changes as needed. Some clients expand from a single use case to full project line after seeing the result. From first contact to full production, we make it easy to start, easy to scale, and easy to trust. Our goal is to act not just as a service provider, but as a partner, helping clients move faster and smarter with their data.
No, that sounds like a thorough process. Can you share a success story for mid-sized and growing companies? Also, can smaller companies work with you? And last but not least, how do you measure success?
Absolutely. We worked with many fast growing companies, and some of the most dynamic projects came from teams that weren't huge, but were moving fast and needed help scaling responsibility. Let me walk you through one example. This project was with a mid-sized company developing autonomous driving systems. Their task was to annotate several hundred thousand images across 10 object classes, all within the tight deadline of just 2 months. The challenge was that the specification kept changing. Annotation rules weren't finalized at the start, and new edge cases were showing up daily. We responded by building a workflow that emphasized clarity and adaptability. We ran kickoff sessions to define and refine rules, created fast QA cycles with feedback, and retrained our annotation team every time the guideline changes. Despite the speed and shifting target, we delivered 99.5% accuracy, which the clients directly linked to improvements in model performance. And more than that, they said our process let their engineer focus on building models, not fixing data. That, to them, was success. Now, I'd like to show you visually what that level of precision looks like. This slide shows polygon-based instance segmentation, which is similar in complexity to semantic segmentation. On the left, you see a correct annotation using a 32-point polygon. Each object is carefully outlined. On the right, you see what happens when lower quality methods are used. Only 8 points plus a parked vehicle is completely missed, something that could easily confuse a perception model. This difference in accuracy directly affects safety and system reliability. It's why we don't rely on crowd workers or cut corners. Instead, we use in-house trained staff, real-time escalation paths, and a structured QA process to ensure precision, even under rapid changes. So to answer your question, you don't need to be a giant company to work with us. What matters is the complexity of the task and your commitment to getting it right. We'll meet you where you are and scale with you.
No, wow, I can see how that in-house internal staff and attention to quality is so important. Joe, can you share a success story for a big organization? Also, I assume they have great resources. So why would they come to you? And then lastly, can their return on investment be measured?
Absolutely. We've worked with many large enterprises, especially in the automotive and manufacturing sectors. Let me walk you through one example that really shows why even well-resourced organizations come to us. In this case, the client was a global supplier that asked us to annotate 10,000 factory safety images for motion classification. They required extremely high precision, 99.7% accuracy, and a delivery timeline of just 1 month. Now, you're right, they had internal teams, but what they needed wasn't more people. They needed consistency, security, and precision under pressure. They were looking for a partner who could match their security standards and execute under tight timelines with full transparency. So we implemented a three-layer secure setup, a physically isolated annotation room, strict network restrictions, and data-less PCs to eliminate local storage risks. We also ran a 1 week training to align judgment criteria and classified edge case handling using real life examples. Throughout the project, we ensured full traceability and workflow transparency. The result? We not only met but exceeded the accuracy requirement, consistently delivering above 99.7%. The client rated the quality as above expectations and choose to continue working with us on expanded projects. Now, what about ROI? This slide shows a similar factory environment. On the left is the original image. On the right, the annotated results. Every object, product, part, tool, fixture, and assembler is correctly labeled, even in a visually dense scene. In fact, several assemblers who were partially hidden behind tools were still annotated accurately. This level of annotation leads to minimum rework thanks to accuracy from the start, faster model development with no need for in-house team to clean up data, full compliance with audit and security requirements. So even for large organizations, our value is clear. We'll help them move faster with less risk and full confidence in their data. And that's the return on investment they can absolutely measure.
Joe, opportunities with artificial intelligence are great, but it's a new evolving field. What advice can you offer to someone experiencing roadblocks?
That's a great question and one we hear often. AI development can be exciting, but it's also complex, fast changing, and sometimes frustrating. If you're running into roadblocks, especially around training data or annotation, my advice is this: don't go it alone. We've seen amazing AI teams struggle, not because of model design, but because the data wasn't right. Sometimes the annotations were inconsistent. Other times, the labeling guidelines weren't clear, or the specs changed mid-project. These issues slow everything down, and they're more common than people realize. That's where a reliable partner make a difference. At Yazaki, we don't just process images. We help teams build structures and annotation pipeline that scale, adopt, and stay audit ready. We've worked with clients whose specs changed every few days, who needed edge case escalation, or who wanted internal training support from their team. And we've helped them push through those roadblocks with flexibility and focus. So if annotation is slowing you down, or if you are not sure whether your data is really usable, you're not alone. Talk to someone. Ask for help early. It can save you weeks or months later.
Thanks, Joe. That was incredibly helpful. We'd now like to take a few questions for Q&A.